Hey guys, FilthyRobot here, telling you how to beat Alps. So this is a fairly interesting fight from my perspective. I hated the old Alps, and I find new Alps pretty reasonable. This fight is a fight of preparation. Like a lot of Battle Brothers fights, this is really about being able to spec appropriately for the fight in terms of weapon loadout and brothers that you're bringing. I feel like a lot of people kind of panic about this fight. They hate it. Have very strong reactions to it, and I think if you get ambushed by Alps, I think it is one of those game-breaking fights that can basically lose you a campaign. But if you know Alps are coming, and basically the only time I'm willing to fight Alps is when I know they're coming, then they're actually fairly easy and fairly consistent. They don't have great rewards, but they do have decent rewards. So I will take these missions if they're available to me and I have the appropriate equipment for it. So there's two things that really help out in this fight. First of all, the way the Alps work, they spawn nightmares on you every single turn. The nightmares, if they get to attack, are always going to hit you. The nightmares do damage based on your resolve, and they will cause resolve checks when you lose to them, but you do not gain resolve from killing the nightmares. The nightmares will get spawned again and again. Basically, every Alp spawns, I think it's 3 to 4, maybe it's 2 to 3 per turn. And they will never run out of those. They can do those and move. They can do those as an action. Like it's just, that is what they're going to do to you. All right. Some things about the nightmares. They have a little bit of melee defense, not a ton. You want your brothers hitting them consistently. You don't need armor in this fight. The damage that nightmares do goes right through armor, and the Alps don't attack you. The nightmares have very low HP. I think it's like Geist HP. I'm not sure that a fist always kills them, but basically any weapon always kills them. So what you want then is accuracy on your items. So what I do when I fight Alps is I strip my brothers entirely naked and give them swords and spears ideally. The one guy has a dagger because he's dagger spec'd in this scenario, and that means he gets 3 attacks and can kill 3 nightmare, but in general you want plus accuracy items. You want to strip naked so you have maximum stamina, because stam is one of the considerations of this fight. And I've heard dogs are useful for it. I personally haven't used them on this fight. I've never felt it necessary so far. And most of the time you can just walk through with that. Let me just turn the speed up just a little bit faster and go from there. So the way the fight is going to break down is as they're spawning nightmares on you, you need to kill every nightmare every single turn. The way to do this effectively, you can do this in the early game even with fairly crappy brothers because there will be a very low number of Alps, again using plus accuracy weapons. In the later game, you'll have some benefit from things like Berserk. Berserk is very good in this fight, especially if you're using a one-handed weapon, which you should be equipping for this fight. Three-handed flail is very good in this fight as well, although the stamina requirements on that are a little bit heavier. But basically a sword spec guy using a one-handed sword is basically the ideal candidate for these fights. What you want to do is slowly break your brothers into basically 2 to 3 groups. The problem with the Alps is they don't always target the group that you want them to target with the nightmares. So if you split up too much into too small of groups, you can get in scenarios where multiple Alps cast on a single group and your group gets overwhelmed. And what you want to do, I think there's a sequence where I go through this. Let me just find a turn where we're starting this. Maybe down here. What you want to do is basically take one attack, then move. One attack, pass to the second half of your turn, then and then after your whole round is gone, clean up any remainder ones with the extra attacks that you have remaining, and then move. So the goal is to basically systematically each turn kill all the Alps that are spawned on you while slowly moving between like 2 and 4 tiles per turn towards an Alp with a split of your brothers in either a third or half. And the goal is you just slowly advance. It's very methodical. It's very, you're doing the same thing round in and round out. It's a very methodical approach to taking on these Alps. You will have turns where you make no progress because too many of your brothers miss. So what you're basically going to be doing is spending the entire turn sitting in place, but that's fine. Ultimately, you're not losing anything doing that. Taking a couple hits here and there really isn't that big of a deal so long as your brothers don't break. I will occasionally bring a bannerman with these groups, these fights, particularly for that. But in general, it's just a slow, steady movement across the map killing Alps. It gets much easier once you have 1 to 2 Alps down because the number of shadows per turn is reduced, and it's very, very doable to do this. Recover is a really good perk in this, and Berserk is a really good perk in this. And other than that, no perks really matter that much. If you have the people you want to bring, you should bring all melee spec guys if you can. I do this occasionally with archers, and they just have to deal with the fact they have low melee attack, and hopefully spears will pump them up enough for that. But if that doesn't happen, it's not that big a deal. Adrenaline can be used to save you if you do miss an attack. You can adrenaline to go ahead of the shadows and kill them on the next round, although it's very stamina intensive to do that, and you hope not to do that very often. But it's just this slow walking across the map killing them. Dogs are okay. Dogs will have some trouble dealing with the shadows. The shadows are not particularly easy for the dogs to kill. They don't have very good melee attack, but he will let you run down some Alps. There is the issue that Alps will retreat, which is really annoying. If you spend all this time getting the fight, it would be nice to pick up the loot from them. But you can see just in the backdrop as this is happening, and of course the video that I will link afterwards, the approach to doing this. These are late game brothers, but this is the same with early game brothers. Early game brothers, you will have less Alps to deal with, and it's totally something you can do to approach that. I recommend staying away from elevated terrain as per always. They will spawn shadows on elevation, so you will be fighting uphill with that. A lot of the times when I do this, like see that the brother who just stopped acting the swordsman on that one tile raised ground, he will stay there for a particularly long period of time because I basically do not wish to give up that high ground until we're totally clear of that position, because I want to make sure that I'm not attacking uphill into shadows. Accuracy is everything in this fight. So having every bonus to accuracy that you can possibly get is great, including things like moving next to the shadows before taking attacks. Your goal is to use one attack per brother, or rather use the minimum number of attacks per brother you can do to still have movement to move after killing the Alps for the turn, or the shadows for the turn. You can see me doing it here. I take a shot, sometimes 2 shots, and then pass. And the guys with Berserk, 2 shots is the same as 1 shot with the guy without Berserk. You see me not taking those third attacks on a lot of those guys because the goal is to set up to actually be able to make progress there. And it's okay if half your team is sitting not making any progress if the other half of your team is. The goal is not to race in this fight. The goal is just to slowly, methodically clear out the 1 Alp at a time from each of the corners until all the Alps are dead. Where it gets tricky with Alps, and where the Alps people get so frustrated with Alps, is when you get ambushed by them. When you don't have the time to switch to your your 0 armor loadout, where you have no time to switch to all accuracy single hand weapons like this. And that's when the Alps are particularly devastating. Mostly though, Alps don't bother you. It's rare to see them, A, because they don't exist on the map during the day, and B, because at night they don't tend to be particularly aggressive creature. You often can dodge them, or at the very least pause for a minute to switch all your loadouts. It's just the surprise Alp missions that can screw you. So just know if you're getting into an Alp fight, know what you're going to be facing, and set up to do it. And you should be set up for success on these and take advantage of the fairly decent Alp trophy loot that you get. Anyways, guys, hopefully this was helpful for you. I'll leave you with the whole video, and see you guys soon. We're stripping down to fight Alps. Sucks, I just put all the fucking gear on. Formation mod, why don't you work? But we need that terrifying scream. That's not who I thought this was. $71. Could he fight here? 54 HP, maybe? Banner wasn't very useful last time. Actually aren't a lot of morale checks in this fight. If you're not getting hit, maybe just don't bring the banner. I did just sell off some one-handed weapons, which is a bit awkward. Wonder if I have enough to actually do this. Yeah, I sold one of my swords from last time. Hammer, sword, axe. So we've got a one-handed axe for you. We've got a one-handed spear for you. And a dagger for you, you're already using. Where are my sword users? Got the 2 war brands. Sword. Sardaukar. I think he wants to use one of these. 8 fatigue. Yeah, 'cause he has like no full fatigue. I guess our Flylow can use the other war brand. He's got a lot of fatigue. Solid. Do we have one-handed weapons anymore? We got 2 swords left. No spears. This is Kijin. Yarkum. You got 1 guy without a weapon over here. Solly on 92. And he's hammer spec'd. Feels bad. Okay. Feels fucking bad. Oversold weapons. That last arming sword. Where's the new guy? Dude, he doesn't have recover. Do we bring him on this fight? Probably. Alright. Top right guy has no weapon. Thank you. We're missing a couple modifiers here. Okay. It's afternoon. Have just a little peek over here. All right, how many Alps is it gonna be? Back in a sec. Kind of nuts, chat. This is a 1-star, 9 Alps. 10 almost killed us last. Well, not almost killed us. 10 was close. I think like 12. I think 11 to 12 would actually start being not something we could handle. Alright, so that's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're missing 2. That mean 2 didn't cast, or why are we missing 2? It's our new guy. Does not have Berserk. We don't want him rolling all in by himself, I don't think. That seems okay. Seems fine. Seems fine. Let's back up this way a little bit. I want to be clustered. I'd like you to go this way. And you up 2 steps. Looks good. This is not the. This is Zach. Don't listen to trolley chat. This is fine. This is still the same run. It's just we're fighting Alps. When you fight Alps, you take off your clothes. Distracts them. Turns out the dagger is not quite as an effective Alp killing weapon as the Warbrand. Who would have thunk it? .93 misses. Feels bad. Did he just mid-turn fucking cast? That's so broken when they do that. I think that's a bug. They're really not supposed to be mid-turn casting. It fucks up everything. It's a good thing I hold actions like religiously in these fights. That was fucked up, Alps. It's a pretty fucked up spawn too. Yeah, because things like that can happen where that guy just survives. I hope I didn't kill myself with that move. Might have been a little aggressive. You guys don't like these Alps? I think these Alps are fine. I think old Alps were busted as fuck and dumb as shit. Don't think we need someone else down there. I think we're gonna go this way. I think 2 are enough there. We'll move these guys together so they don't get ganked by something. Watching this is extremely boring. I find it kind of interesting. It's a different fight. It's not a brawling fight. It's a fight about positioning and stamina management. It's another fight that pushes pretty hard for Berserk though, doesn't it? In retrospect, there's one more up there. Maybe we could send a group of 3 to kill that guy. Such shitty terrain to move through, though. Shooting a crossbow got changed to 3 AP and reloading got lowered to 4. Any thoughts? Well, crossbows need to change. I haven't really thought about that long enough to get a real sense of that. Depends what you can combo that with, and it depends if they're changing the premium damage perks in this game. Particularly if they're changing Berserk or not. Trying to just control that piece of high ground. It's a nice piece right there. Make some progress to the east. Make some progress to the north without being in a position where Alps will spawn above me or nightmares spawn above me. Which unfortunately I can't do on that turn. Okay. So, I mean, your maximum AP in any given round goes 9 to start with. You get 4 back after shooting. So with the crossbow, if you shot and killed, it would go... If you'd shot and didn't kill, it would be 3 to shoot, go to 6. So that would allow you to shoot and then switch to a polearm, which you do already, and hit. Then you can't reload if you hit again. The 6 you get off of that would let you attack again, but you can already do that. So what does it do for the other attacks then? If you kill with the crossbow and reload, so you go from 9 to 6 to fire, back up to 9 after you've killed, 6 to reload, you can fire again. Is that different than before with 2 and 7? No. Does it matter at all then? Oh, it's not 6 to reload, it's 4 to reload. Not sure. You can do that already. You can do that already, Andre. You just have to kill. You shoot, you go from 9 to 7, you go back up to 9, you reload, you go down to 2, and you shoot again, you go to 0. Can't shoot, reload, shoot. Oh, because it's not back. It's not a full step back. Oh, because Berserk's not giving back 6, it's bringing back 4. Yeah. Alright, what are we doing here right now? We're killing this, killing that, waiting, killing that, finishing, killing that. Making slow progress. Which is how you fight Alps anyways, so it's fine. Yeah. That's a lot of little nightmare babies you launched on me. I normally die to a... Must have been a very low roll on that attack. I almost always die to a single hit from the Warbrand. Ah, not quite enough action to do it. Boo. Yeah. Should have brought that dog. I actually thought about equipping it too and then got distracted. We're good to move up a little bit. I want to just like run straight for him. I guess we're not quite there yet. Okay. I saw hounds with like about a 20% hit chance on shadows. Are you sure it's a good thing? Like a 30% hit maybe? Didn't seem excellent to me. So where else are we gonna cast that? This way? Can we split here, 2 there, 2 this way? Turn done. These guys are done. Not yet, I don't think. Need to bring these guys back. Can get into here though. How much does starter car have left for movement? It's one of our sword dudes. Which sword dude is he though? That one? 9? Okay. Okay. %20 is greater than 0%. Yeah, sure. Take morale hits when your dogs die, I believe, right? And aren't you also throwing money at them? You don't need to? I don't know. It sounds like one of these again. Like I hear this a lot. You hear this a lot in Battle Brothers. When you're fighting orcs, bring dogs. Fighting Geist, bring dogs. Bring fucking fighting Alps, bring dogs. I don't actually think dogs are all that good. They're expensive to use if they're going to be dying regularly. I don't know. I have not used them in this fight, so maybe I'm just wrong. Pretty much the only thing I use dogs for too is chasing down human bandits for experience. Yeah, that's true. And if you're like when you're first like fighting orcs or something, like you can use them to take like a single hit to save a brother. That's generally better than losing a brother. So. the dagger next to him. It's not very high damage. All right, Alps, give me this. Give me the scream. I want the scream. The petrified scream. Too many things wrong with that idea. So the last component we need for our Oblivion Potion. Can we swing twice? This is 30 fatigue to swing. If we spend 25 and 30, it's 55. Discount by 15, so we need 40. We have 40. Okay. Didn't get there though. Bummer. Matter, Kex? Oh, I have a misspelled command in there. Nice, nice. Thanks for catching it. No summons up here, okay. Oops, wanted to go there. Feels so fucking satisfying killing the little bastards when you finally get to them. Got it. All right. A lot of extra Alp stuff. Can we get anything out of those other pieces?